Hello, hello. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. I hope I sound alright. I've been messing with audio a little bit. Hopefully, it's a little bit clearer, a little bit louder. I noticed that my stream was coming through kind of quiet compared to other things that I was watching. And so I wanted to fix that. So hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it sounds good and nice. And also, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Tuesday. To one and to all. Hope you're having a good time. I thought that was a smudge on my monitor, but it's just the loading screen. Okay. Doing all right. Was messing with some of my bot commands and things. Just trying to clean up my OBS a little bit. So it looks nice and it's easy to use for me. And a bit for you too. Whew. We are on our way, working towards the last liberation rites, allegedly. We'll see what that looks like. You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the dissidents in the liberation rite. Excellently done, Nightwings. Noxalis. Do you think Tizo's already home? You succeeded in liberating Tizo, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. This is a nice, anime recap of what just happened, in case it's been a couple days since the last time you played. The last light of the stars still shines for us above. At this point, what is to become of our plan needn't be the subject of our speculation. I trust that we'll learn the outcome soon enough. Our actions to this point shall pave the way, perhaps our faith as well. So let's, for now, focus on this. We stand upon the brink of the last turn of the cycle of rites. Soon, we'll have a final chance to get one of you home. Now, reader, up for a little stargazing? Let's see where in the downside we shall be returning for these final rites. You turn back toward the darkness to look upon the last few stars too stubborn to relinquish their light. Who shall relinquish their light to me? Haub, Gol, Yomir. Who's left? So far south. Chastity, the Fate, or the Tempers. Looks like we'll be taking on the Pyre Hearts probably in the finale. 5 and 14. Oh, the Dissidents just gave up? I think I want to take on the Chastity. Because I don't really want to take on the Fate again right now. And these folks are annoying. I did not look where we were going. But I think this is Haub. Once more, you are to face the Chastity then, although I wonder. He hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thoughts. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make way for the cairn of Haub, when everyone is feeling more refreshed as much as possible. Who wishes to speak? Shay? In spite of the late hour, you find Shay minding her own business in the wagon and talking to herself, or rather, the wagon walls. But most of all, I think I'm going to miss this little chirping sounds. He woke me up with them sometimes. He kept waking me up. He sure was a good friend for both of us, right, little brother? Why, you knew him even better than I did. Much better, I should think. So, you must really miss him too. She spreads her arms against the wall. I understand, I do. And those drive imps up there, they seem very sad about it too. Or maybe some are happy? I don't know. More food for them to share. And they like food. Tizo sure liked food. I wonder if he'll like the food at home. It's very different, right? And so, maybe he won't? But he eats almost anything. Oh, this must be so exciting for him. And I know the scribes. They'll be watching over him still. I think they'll love him best of all. I cannot wait to hear what he thinks of it all. And I think for sure that he will help Mr. Sandalwood's big plan. That's the great thing about Tizo, little brother. No matter where he goes, he always helps. He always helps. She bounds off without acknowledging your presence in the least. You sense that she has found some peace despite knowing now being separated from her little friend Tizo. You hope by now she has found safe passage. He has found safe passage in the Commonwealth. Indeed. What pages have we unlocked? Reader, though you shall always bear a burden, it's much lighter than the burden of a lonesome exile. Go forth and become free. Then join with others such as you and lead with mercy, continuing to demonstrate your worth, and knowing that the Empire's fall formed the foundation of our Commonwealth. You shall cease to be a reader and become a voice both to the free and to your successors here, who shall take up this book when you no longer need it. The cycle of the rights shall see to it that you and others like you shall be liberated ere the coming of another age, and the stars shine ever brightly on us all. There was another page that I unlocked, right? No? Okay. Remember when picking that black cap was quite a fortune to behold. It is daybreak. You are to set forth for the cairn of Haub, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter, you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. I like the flight music. In-flight music is good. Oi, what the bloody blazes? Morgan notices your wagon at his flank here and begins to laugh. Well, if it ain't the night wings, flaunting their fancy little flying wagon, eh? You think you're better than us mates, eh? You ain't better than the dung I stepped in last night. Now, get on out of here, and I'm minded to leap on over there and rip your gizzards out, you hear me? Okay, I thought you were out of the running. I didn't think you would be here anymore. I wasn't even trying to hit you. This transition screen, and you just kind of showed up. The forbidding cairn of Haub lies below. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remains of the Shack's six shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through the flagging hands. You know its true significance as we do. Although your adversaries, the Chastity, should be on their way there now. Soon you shall confront them once again. That's the plan. Faster route, leaving you time for your vocations. Or, so Gilman suspects you may find something of value. I think vocations. Pass the time. A foreboding feeling stuck with you since your arrival in the dry flats of Shund. Some of it spreads to the others in the group. Tomorrow is another day, but for the time, we'll have to ride this out. Being stuck out here like this sure isn't doing me any favors. Decide to focus on pursuing your vocations until the Black Wagon is ready to move on. Do I add more to Shay? Or to Pamitha? I think Pamitha, because then I'll bring Shay on the next right against the Chastity. So this will hopefully level her up. You ask Pamitha to explain to you in her own words the histories of the 8 scribes, and speak to how their very backgrounds form the basis, not just of the rights, but of the Commonwealth. Excellent. I used to soar above the mountains with the high-wing remnants, and we would see the Commonwealth shining down on the horizon. It enraged us, the mere sight of it. I can fly free no longer, yet that anger, I don't feel it anymore. Fly fast, fly free, Pamitha. My sisters, we all come from the flock of Trieste Tithys. Maybe we just don't remember her anymore. eyes of the High Ring, wings of the matriarch. Continue your journey toward the cairn of Haub to conduct the rites against the chastity. Page revealed the cairn of Haub. Lusclorian. How ironic that the shattered remnants of the bone titan Shaq's six shoulders, which once stood vigilant over the archway and flagging hands, remain now as forbidding as when the horrid monster still possessed an unnatural life. After little Haub dispatched the bone titan in a feat of ingenuity, Shax's pieces fell onto the valley floor, forming a set of standing stones, which Haub marked. Further, traces of the Titan's glacial blood coagulated into perfect frozen drops, which still shimmer in the darkness. Six Shoulders seems to start reanimating when the stars above him dance a certain way. Paint the sigil, then, in the shining light. How wonderful that is. Oh, wait, there was a... What is this? Xylobones. Nice. Clever. Fun. Hey guys, say I noticed that your little imp pal. He ain't with you no more, is he okay? I had the wildest thing. He somehow got out of here, back to the other side, and I'm like, why would an imp want that? Who knows? Maybe because he's smarter than you? So that's... I don't think we want that. Oh, I do want that for sure. We can sell Tizo's stuff. We can sell this one. I don't think I'm going to give that to anyone. No. I could return these rings, but... Anything worth getting at this point raises the rank of certain talismans plus 10. That's nice. And then I don't have enough for anything else. 61. 61. That's 122. So I could do that. Don't think that can be raised. That can't be raised. I'm actually going to be giving you that anyway. That could be raised potentially. No, I think we just get this and this. And then we can probably sell that, but maybe not right now. Don't want that. Well, yeah, we'll do that. And then we shall rank this up. Oh, it can't rank that up. Or can it? Okay. It's either that. No. That might be nice. To return immediately. After being banished. I think we'll just do this. Call it a day. Must be a lucky day here. I don't know what, Dad. Here we go. Everything is prepared, and the night is just beginning to take hold above the rocky pathways of Cairn of Hope when Wilfred gets your attention. Reader, I suppose you might remember our very first meeting with Manly Tinderstaff. He would be mortified, of course, if you forgot. They would say that he is an embarrassment to my kind, but unfortunately, I've known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan, should he know of my involvement, and so... Wilfred dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here, as I am with the Nightwings once again. I can no longer hide from him outright. Perhaps, though, he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems we have a rite to conduct. This time. Nope. Ooh. Shay, Gilman,
Reader, the Commonwealth,
and Bertrand.
your home. Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books. Aflame because of you. Because of your outlandish plan. Not that you care. Not that you shall live to see this place again. Your attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
Shan't.
Though by all means, keep trying.
I will.
As for
The soap.
myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings! Come to grace us with their presence once again? Are you perhaps intent upon humiliating us even more than last time? You sense Wilfred reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And my, the colors of those raiments, I mean, they are rather gaudy in this light, I have to say. Though, I mean no offense of this, of course. So, do you suppose the rite is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know why, I'm expecting an important message from the other side, no less, come dawn. I hear something is brewing out there. Some sort of unrest, So yes, it's a very important message, sent all this way by one of those imp couriers. I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though, I'm sure that I could get you a good deal on those services if you wish, perhaps to contact a loved one back home, All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail, as well we ought. For I've a date with Destiny not long from now, upon the fall of Solium. He continues talking for some time, until at last the rite is set to start. Isn't that right, Squirt? We're starting the rite. We're starting the rite. Some bunny picks for good luck, yeah? There you go. Yeah, the bunny picks. Okay. Oh, my, look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners. Such a colorful retinue you Nightwings have. You know, I heard the most preposterous rumor about you, that you're harboring an especially notorious criminal, one who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Wilfred. But I could not imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true, Anyhow, I so would like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings. I'm H. Manly Tinderstaff, and truly, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Isn't it, Sprout? There you go. Manly has intruded upon your privacy as you set to choosing your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. Manly seems to respond to behavior similar to his own. You should send him away. Perhaps a broken limb or two might cause Manly to think better of his antics next time. No, ask him politely. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the rite. Why, yes, of course, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all of you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against this type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes wouldn't mind if they were here. Anyway, now that you mention it, I have to go check on my wonderful colleagues. See you shortly, and good luck. Manly leaves at last, leaving you to focus on the rite again.
Choose quickly your triumvirate.
No, I shall choose slowly. Preparing to fling the orb, the bearer's charge-up speed increases by 40%. The casting sprout spawns faster. Excellent. Spawns the... Yes. Casting sprout remotely detonate, eh? Oh, they have some reserves too. Look at you go. Oh, and they have healing. Stamina. And healing from his father. Okay. But we shall stick to the plan. Let's grab Shay. And then we shall grab Bertrude. And then we shall grab Gilman.
Sir Gilman. If that is all, then...
This night has been much appreciation for foes with silver tongues. They are among his favorite kind to vanquish. Are you quite ready, your Nightwings? I doubt you are. Because my colleagues of the Chastity Night, we have a trick or two we think shall take you by surprise. Just watch. That's what most other people call cheating.
Commence. Didn't
Okay.
see it coming.
Oh.
The path to glory eludes us all at times.
Oh.
My.
Ah, yep. Come on, give me.
Their flame has died a little.
Whew, that was close.
Simply monstrous.
Oh.
Vanished one and all. Bertrude threw it in.
Yeah, she did. Go, Bertrude. Go, Birdie. Go, Birdie. Go.
Oh, no.
Oh, I should have switched. For sure. It's okay. Oh. Oh, thank you.
United.
What am I supposed to do here?
All banished.
Oh, come on.
Quite
Get
the
out of
turn
here.
events. One triumvirate stands unopposed. Flung with considerable precision.
Indeed. Now, let us be reasonable here. You have a golden opportunity and you're throwing it away. Oh, but we had a deal. This cannot be happening. The party is next week. Everyone, mother, father, they will... What shall they think if I cannot attend? Oh, but our good family name. I ask you gently one last time, Yield and our victory shall be shared, for I have friends, you know, who can make life more comfortable for you, or stand against me and regret it. Okay. Oh.
Glorious.
Nice, Gilman. Get a little bit of healing in there, too. Oh.
My.
Oh.
Come on, foiled.
I jumped. I was in the air.
A stroke of luck is all.
I mean, it was pretty good timing. That was not, though. That was not, though.
As per the sacred law,
Sacred law.
your victory is at hand. And
It is done.
The
GG.
Nightwings managed not to prevail.
Noxalas.
Alas, that their adversaries failed to stop them.
Yeah, they did.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
My word, how could this happen to me? You deceitful, ignorant, utterly uncouth pack of fools. How have you any idea what you've done? Fred watches the outburst in silence. Keep spouting off like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You harbor such a fear within your heart there, don't you? Coming from the aristocracy and now in exile, how they must speak of you. What would they think of you if you don't get out, or even if you do? Wilfred remains deep in thought, studying his adversary. There, I see now. Then Wilfred recedes into shadows. What? My head? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta. Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure, genuinely so. Manly stumbles away in a stupor. And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him for the time. A bit of mercy for his sake, for my people's sake. As well, it should ensure that he has no lasting memory of our encounter here, or running into me. Now let's be off, before he catches up with us again. That's creepy.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes.
And blessed are the scribes, whose eternal wisdom shines upon us through the stars and illuminates the path to our salvation. Wait, what did I just say? Why, that was strange, but I feel so invigorated now.
Forever cursed is Kelma Rope Collar.
There you go, Spurt.
You may go now at your earliest convenience.
I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. It's getting warm in here now. No one speaks further of the chastity back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come. Last chance, then, is it? If any of us is going to get out of here still, it's this time or never. The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of the rites is now upon us. He looks over to you. Please look forth, reader, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we are going next. The others turn to you as well. You turn towards the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. Indeed. We play in the Gold Star of Solium. Solium. But still, I must navigate up there. Getting nice for yourself for Christmas? Getting myself anything nice for Christmas? Moving is what I'm getting myself for Christmas in that sense. It's going to be very, very nice to get out of this place. There are many issues with it. Oh, because we're going to be pacing against the false Nightwings. Duh. Other than that, not really, I don't think. I don't think I'm getting anything nice. Might get some, like, Magic or Digimon cards here and there, but nothing anything too special. The dinner menu for Christmas, though, has been decided. It is a potato soup. It was a very delicious potato soup. And probably a number of other kind of sides and other things. But it is very delicious. So we're going with that. How is your Christmas Eve? Probably getting close to Christmas for you, Mystery. How's that going for you? Well, I hope. You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for the seventh and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that, if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. Going through the end of Visions of Mana. Nice. Nice. Getting to the end of the game, or getting to the 100% of the game? The stars revealed to you one more thing. The adversary whom you shall face shall be Orlek. Already he has crossed Scribe's Gate and awaits your arrival. End of it. Ah, gotcha. That'll still be good. It's a nice reward. If what I'm understanding is correct, we'll be getting to the end of Pyre today. So, that'll be a nice little reward. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. It is a shame that we should have to confront Orlek in the end. Our goals should never have been at cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desire. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best you can for the coming trial. Rest well, reader. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan and get somebody home. But who? Who indeed? Oh?
Foolish reader. Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting you. You shall never have your freedom.
Wanted to get a couple tries in there just in case the text was still on screen during it. By dawn, you are already up and about after a troubled slumber. The Black Wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the Fall of Solium. No one speaks. I almost heard that a little. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? By all means. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you might hear it. He begins without another word. Oh, I can't boost.
The rights shall come to bear. Illuminate the signs. The exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but three shall be as one. Freedom in flame. The end has just begun. Strength may break our own, but twisted make a brave. Together on their own, the journey journey shall be made.
I know Volfred is going, but I'm not sure if I'm going to take Bertrude or Shay.
We touch down amid the sheer cliffs of Mount Elodial to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed.
Who do I try to save? Two. Part of me wants to save Pamitha, because I feel like she would go back and be working with our squad and help bring some of the Highwing remnants and the other harps to the cause. I don't think either of these can go. I don't really care about saving Sir Gilman anymore. He's fun, he's cool. I don't like his abilities. I would feel bad that Shay isn't getting to go free. And she's got some pretty good powers. Like, while holding the orb, sprints and jumps without using stamina. It's pretty good. But I've also been like boosting Pamitha a bit. I think it's gonna be Pamitha. Eldwitch, sorcerers of the Southern Bogs. I think it's gonna be Pamitha. Damning someone to prison for life solely because they aren't fun enough to puppet around on the battlefield. I mean, kind of. His shtick has also grown a little old on me. Not to mention, like, I think, from what I understand of him now, he's just a knight. And he just wants to go back. Seems a little bloodthirsty. He's not. I understand that. Did the same. Nice. How you doing today in Digitizable?
After having landed, you join Volfred on an expedition to the monument of Molten Millith for what is likely to be the final time. Hear me, O scribes. Long have I served your will, and long have I pursued this path which you have revealed to me. Our plan now stands on a precipice. If we prevail this night, then we may yet achieve its goals. We would reform the Commonwealth under the auspices which you yourselves described within your book. As we shall stand together, so I ask that you please stand with us. By your divine grace, we may yet prevail. And please have mercy on Orlick as well. Soon he is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Molten Millith has shown you favor. At dawn you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare.
Glory. That's not what I needed. You barely are going to be dousing the pyre. I wanted you to have, what is it? Presence? Yeah, I wanted presence. can't tell where you are. I don't think I'm going to get anything for you. Our adversaries deal -10, while our Pyre has less. Our Pyre has more, she deals an additional 5. There's no guarantee that this will max her out, though. But I have a feeling that this might be a little closer. And I think I would managed adversaries are slowed and cannot use abilities. That would be good. Wilfred and his allies. So if they get all of us, this would be good for a final thing. Certainly, I would appreciate your point of view. You and Wilfred review what observations you have made thus far about the various triumvirates you have confronted on your journey. He has keen insights about some of them. Oh, excellent. Okay, good. Long did I bide my time, in anticipation that one day the Nightwings would reform under a common cause. To be a part of it myself nourishes the spirit. Yeah, we're grabbing that. Either we stand between each other's path to freedom, or we help each other on the way. I try to always bear this truth in mind. What items? I'm getting so stressed now. Part of me wants to get the healing orb, like this one. Dealing an extra 4 and may instantly return. I feel like healing is going to be a bit nicer. So I think I'm taking that. And these two are keeping this. So much stress. So much stress. Messenger Imp with news and rumors for the other side manages to track down your wagon in the ancient formations of Mount Elodial. The Imp's latest information is about none other than Tizo, whom you liberated at the fall of Solium. Everybody says he is the first creature of his kind to come to the Commonwealth. While this unique status brought Tizo no shortage of prestige, he nonetheless experienced difficulty acclimating to the new environment. It seems that he grew quite despondent. Then at last he managed to track down Wilfred's agents, with whom he is working to find means to bring more exiles home. Thus has the revolution grown stronger. He also left for you a special verbal message via the most trusted messenger, who rears up and intones. Tizo wants you to know he is doing well, but misses you and hopes to see you again. You thank the messenger imp for the report and ask that it relay your kind regards. Your companions soon begin to talk in turn.
I guess this makes him an expatriate of sorts, ditching this downside home in favor of the Commonwealth. Who would have thought?
Oft it is said that good things come in smallish packages, and Tizo stood as living proof, and living he remains apparently.
I'm so happy for him. I wish I could have had a friend like him where I was.
You did it, little one. You'd scarce believe how long our Tizo toiled here in service of the Nightwings. He deserves his peace more than us all.
Very bright, that one. Would have served well as our familiar. Perhaps someday yet it shall be so. Look forward to our next reunion, Tizo. Perhaps when we are back among the stars.
The news of Tizo's adventures in the Commonwealth fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus one hope. You stand before the scribe's gate with your companions. The gate guardian is here, as ever, but you sense something different in her.
The exiles of the Nightwings. We shall not meet again after the coming rite. Todik and I. It shall be time we take our rest, I think. Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus. You have a duty to uphold, Tariq. And then what, Celeste? And then nothing. Not for the rights, or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate.
One by one, your fellow exiles approach her. Now, with soreness in their step.
May I speak first? My name is Shay, and I'm here because the scribes. This is the path that they've shown me, and all of us. I like it when they call to me.
We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood. For we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business. Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion at your service. This night's never-ending quest for honor shan't end here. Yet first, he has a noble duty to uphold.
Tamitha Thane here. I came seeking my blood sister Tamitha's forgiveness, since she ended up in here because of me. Maybe something good can come of it as yet.
My name is Wilfred Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it. Finally, you step forth once more. You, a common wanderer who vowed to help their friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with his group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway toward the summit.
The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tariq. You stay right here. I thought you said, the rites are not yet ended, Tariq.
He looks to her, then over to the rest of you.
Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align.
Yo, Tariq. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. Tariq. You have gained the summit of Mount Elodial for the 7th time, the final time in which one of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. Anyone wish to speak? No. Fair enough. Hey, guys. I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, well, I'm going out of business here, I guess. Hasn't been the same, you know? Well, with all the stars all fading out and stuff. Anyways, just wanted to say you guys are great. I'm sure I'm gonna miss having you guys as customers and all that. But I got some good news though too. All my stuff, it's all on sale now, and I'll throw in a little extra there just for you, okay? So enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay? 5% off, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ron. You shouldn't have, truly. Truly. Plus 4 presence. Quickness. Permanently gain quickness. Next right. Oh, drag to the talisman pocket to activate? Alright. We're doing some science here. I got presents for Wilfred. Okay. Good. Okay, cool. Cool. That is what I needed. Get rid of this. Presence. Quickness. Hope. We can get one more. Let's get another hope. Let's get another hope. There we go. I could sell some other stuff, I suppose, eh? Let's give the presents. Presents. Let's just do that. Quickness for you, and hope for you. And hope for you. And presence for you. There we go. Suppose I could just keep selling stuff and just... That only sells for 10? Nah. Tell all your friends... tell all your friends about us, because I already told mine. The final liberation rite. You have gained the summit of Mount Elodial for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Rita, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory. He looks up, and he extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Volfred has joined you. All of your companions are there with him, in fact. It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, Rita, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward now. Let us achieve our plan. Reading one, thou art both wiser and less intriguing than most others of thy kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful, and less irritating, I should say, not less intriguing. Oh, hi, Reader. The others, they said they wanted me to join them and come talk to you. So here I am. The scribes are watching us. Something into my throat. Master Reader, it has been this night's greatest honor to have served with you. Let this be our most glorious stand yet. Well, Reader darling, what do you say we give those old scribes a real show to remember, then, shall we? Look upon your fellow exiles, your companions, with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct the final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Wilfred's plan, the plan of which you have all been a part, shall be decided one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. Let us stand together. No, I ain't putting any of these on. Get out of here. Gotta win this. Stress. Let's go. We got this.
Look for one last time upon the fall of Solium, dear reader. Hear me for one last time. For soon the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land where you deserve to be. The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite. You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free, for you deserve each other.
Pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom. Not another word. The demon Orlek slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it, here upon this mountain top. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then, Orlek dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever, for the misery which they caused.
Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? One whom you anoint, or else the exile Orelek shall be returned. Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory. Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please.
Thought I heard Sprout throwing up or something.
Time now to choose who, if anyone among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside until the end of your days. One by one, you will meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Pamitha, Shay, Ertrude, Wulfred, Sir Gilman. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together, you have come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear you group apart and disrupt your plan. Be prepared to choose this one last time. Know the pressure is too great. It seems both cruel and unfair to have to make such a decision. Is there no other way? The fate of your friends in the Commonwealth may hinge on the decision you are about to make. I want to see what happens. Having to make this last decision is unconscionable. It is too much. You hesitate, but then you sense a reassuring voice enter your thoughts. Do not give in, reader. Do not give in. We stand with you. The choice you are about to make, however you shall go about it, and whatever the outcome, we understand. And so, you need not hesitate, and you need not explain, so please, trust in yourself. For all the rest of us, we trust in you. You reconsider what you are about to do. You cannot back down. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what you to. Fellow exiles, that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation.
And I
Too
cannot
bad for the rest of you.
send either of them.
Plus 40.
Oh, he just gets that. Cool. Rush again. Okay. And you have... They can turn instantly. And you have quickness. Okay. Okay. Well... I'm going to tell you that you've made a terrible mistake there, Rita darling, but I think you haven't made as many as I have, so try not to mess this up for either one of us. Your choice is cast. As for the other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Pamitha, as well as you.
Who shall be at her side? Wulfred.
Assuredly, my kin. Besides, we stand against Orlek. It is fitting that I should have to confront him myself.
Bertrude.
Thy will is ours, Reader One. Let the remaining stars shed their last light upon our ceremony here.
Now,
Those are to be my adversaries, then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts their will over that group? You sense Orlek searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me but you. You would relinquish your own liberty for sake of them. Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Orlek stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the right shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tariq. I am prepared, Celeste.
Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste. Let us make sure of it.
Here we go.
Begin. The final chance at liberation of the age.
Yep. Okay. We're just being rude then? That's what happening? Come on, land. Do it. Coward. Oh, I should have jumped. I should have jumped. Get both of you. Get out of here. Ah! We got it on their side at least. So that's progress. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, go over there. Yep, I thought so. That's okay. That's okay. Come on. Please land. Thank you, First Blood. I will take it. You wear the raiments once again. I could not simply stand by and do nothing, Orlek. Yet that is what you did when last we stood together on this blasted mountain. I fell. You simply stood. Orlek, what shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Orlek seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. This is a horrible time for something to be in my throat. Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan? To bring about a better Commonwealth? No. I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then I am sorry, Orlek. My love of country comes before all else. More than your freedom, and our friendship is at stake. Your love be damned, Wolfred. Let us stand as adversaries then. I mean, I thought we were already. Yup. I caught it? Okay. I jumped. I jumped. I jumped. I jumped. Oh, I didn't. I ran out of stamina. That was my own doing. Ho ho! Close. Whoop. Yep.
Bertie.
Ah, yep. I need stamina. Oh. Come on, charge up, please. Winged Fury. Ah, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Wherever went old Ulrich?
Oh, okay. Nope. Give me the orb, please. Throw it! I was trying to throw it to be able to dash into him.
Ulrich was struck.
Ah,
All of the true Nightwings gone.
the true Nightwings, you say. Oh, I was too slow. Okay. Gimme.
Wings have served her.
Okay. The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyre mingle with it.
Just then, the skies above begin to rain down fire. The final throes of the cycle of the rites, and the ending of an age. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, what?
Tough luck, Nightwings. How he has changed, that Warlick. Grown old and bitter, lo these many.
Okay. Oh, yep. I should have used the jump. Yep.
Big on now, Orlek.
Come on. Oh. Okay. I released it just too late. Double kill. Oh, I missed. That's so embarrassing. Don't look at me. Oh, I was on the wrong character. I thought it was Burchard. Ah. When do I get to use my stuff again? After getting knocked over. Nope. Yep, I understand. Okay. Okay, sure, yep. Oh, no. I don't want it. How do you cancel that? I want to know how to cancel. Okay, that was too close. Didn't like that very much. Okay. Sure, just walk right into it, I guess. Okay with that. Oh, yep. That's fine. Oh my gosh, they're throwing? Like literally? He threw it? Okay, I'm throwing. Wasn't ready for that pass. Yep, that's okay, that's okay. Oh, come on, give me. That's okay. I got some damage, and Pamathel will be back.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you.
I am. Yep. Oh, I let go. I let go just a little bit too late. Oh, I...
Left unscathed.
need to use the lock on. I forget about the lock on. Like a fool.
The orb has
I
left
disagree.
your clutches.
No, I don't want. I want. Give me Pamitha. Oh my gosh, just for that to happen.
One triumvirate stands unopposed. A foul turn for the true Nightwings.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
Zap.
Why do you just get to keep canceling?
Was a crushing blow
I did not expect that to go in. Orlek stands breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of flame that is smoldering Pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate.
Come on, switch. Okay. What? Oh, nope. Come on, switch, please. Oh my gosh.
all banished.
What is happening? I'm getting pushed all around.
Glory
Oh.
once more like that, and we are finished here.
Okay. Oh. Is it enough? It's not enough. I understand. Come on, Bertrand. Ooh. Okay, that was dumb. Oh, that was even more dumb. That was even more dumb. Don't throw this. Do not. Whatever you do, throw this. Oh, I walked right into it like an idiot. Oh my gosh! I hate his jumping ability.
All of you shall rot here, shall rot as I have all these many years, you false Nightwings, who would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You who deny that liberty to all of the triumvirates you face and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of these blasted scribes. Come, let us continue with this glorious affair.
Okay. Good. Good. Ooh. Oh, come on. I don't want to throw. I'm not trying to throw it. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay. I jumped, I jumped, I jumped. I promise I did. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't you dare. Do not you dare. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. I passed the ball. I swear I did. That's okay, that's okay. Let me... Thank you. That's okay, that's okay.
There it is. GG's. Oh.
Night
Naxalas.
proved their worth.
Oh.
An outcome which left little room for doubt. Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Boy, that was scary. Not bad there, reader darling. Just another night in the downside, no? No, that was not just another night in the downside. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look upon Pamitha, for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the Shimmer Pool shall engulf her. Any moment now, she shall return to glory and join with Wolfred's agents in the Commonwealth to help her achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the rites shall end, until at least the dawn of the new age.
Why do they keep saying any moment now like this?
Any moment now.
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Subtle foreshadowing? Shadowing?
And thus, the scribes have chosen. And thus, the scribes have chosen. No. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
What do you mean? Damn. Did we already miss our chance? Glad I got not Pamitha, Jadariel and Tizo out at this point, if this is happening.
Each prior time upon the fall of Solium, the Shimmer Pool has opened, following the liberation rite, and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Orlek approves, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. Sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Pamitha looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes. This is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Orlek strides toward the Shimmer Pool, but...
Halt, Orlek.
Orlek glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise.
The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside, and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you.
He laughs to himself at this. Then, we have all been cheated.
No, the Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose, and the last light of the stars is extinguished, and the rites cease to be. This is the final trial of the scribes.
The final trial of the scribes? Then our confrontation, the liberation rite, it all was meaningless?
No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or they who anointed them. Then it's sounding rather like I can get out of here, though maybe you can, reader darling? Aye, it shall be either you, the reader, or...
It shall be either, or...
Pamitha, please make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. Quite the dilemma, but I think I know which way I'm leaning here. Reader darling, do me a favor now, and go get out of here, before I go start having second thoughts.
Pamitha wishes to give up her freedom, so that you may regain yours.
Very well. Reader, the choice which Pamitha made, or rather the choice which she gave, is now yours to make instead.
This choice may keep bouncing back and forth like this? Absurd.
It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and, I fear,
that there is little time remaining now.
Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange.
Reader, what is your will?
Choose yourself. Choose Pamatha. Choose Orelek.
Orelek was denied his freedom long ago. He should have been freed long time ago. However, he gives me no indication that it will be beneficial for our plan. And if our plan goes correctly, he'll be free anyway. If I understand it right. So I'm thinking I'm going to go. And that's only because I gave it to Pamatha, and she chose to pass it to me. She wanted me to go. If it was just, okay, reader, you have to choose again, it would have been Pamatha again. But I'm taking it myself.
Your mind is made up. You have chosen to be free yourself.
I see and understand, then. It is done.
Pamatha looks to you this one last time, a heart filled with unspoken understanding. You turn then to the lone minstrel for an instant, but another instant later. He is gone. He and everyone. All you feel is the coldness of the rush of water coursing all around you. You return.
Godspeed, reader. 5
Godspeed me.
skies. No stars remain aloft.
Am I a star?
Cycle of the rites. It is finished.
Am I going to become a new star?
The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What shall become of us? Nightwings. The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
That night, when exiled reader returned to the Commonwealth, they were to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the rites had run its course. They found the Commonwealth in a state of unrest. Spurred by the efforts of 4 liberated exiles, Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles and the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The rulers of the Commonwealth pushed back. Fighting broke out in the streets, in spite of Sandalwood's intentions. It was then that the winged high-wing remnants chose to strike. Doesn't sound like it's going well. Allegations that the high-wing remnants were in league with Sandalwood were never proven. However, there was no denying the result of the two-pronged attack. After enduring for almost a millennia, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saurian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Today, we still remember all this, and we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. Oh, this is showing all the people that were liberated.
Choose someone to learn what became of them since last you met.
Oh, okay. Sure, let's just go down.
With the rites drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously.
and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those of the entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with the messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave to it one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from the Sarin Union. Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from a legal standpoint in the Saurian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. Our nation formed in 839 AS after the fall of Commonwealth. One day we all may stand shoulder to shoulder with a common cause. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Burchards and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Saurian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for side effects. When the cycle of the rites ceased turning, Wolfred Sandalwood turned toward the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all he could do at the stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the Commonwealth's ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit, yet the plan did have contingencies. Word reached him that, on the night of the scribe's return, several of his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together and their voices echoed through the streets. It was vital to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature, but this proved to be untenable, especially after the Highweed remnants appeared. There was speculation that their well-timed assault may not have happened by coincidence, though Sandalwood denied any involvement and regretted the bloodshed. Nevertheless, the main thrust of the plan had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Saurian Union. Of course, being stranded to the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience its triumphs and its struggles in some vicarious way. So, he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again through the Saurian Union, so did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read and semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Saurian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He enjoyed exchanging letters with the reader of the Nightwings, who kept him well abreast of how their other comrades in the fledgling nation fared. As Wolfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and his contributions, it is said that he remained steadfast about 2 things. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus, the freedom that the people had achieved. It was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Saurian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said that he was moved to tears then by the gesture. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. Get some of these anyway. After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive night, staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. but Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted rather forcefully that in any evening now, the stars would shine for him again and mark the way toward his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there have since been sightings of a draggled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting that he yet lives. So he turned into a demon. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance at freedom for the downside had forever slipped from Dalbert and Almer Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Ymir Valley. There, they struggled to get by as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Oldhearts at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This as well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalbert great joy, despite his forthright manner. He had no love for the nation that cast him down along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Almer never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Almer began a new journey. One day, during his travels, he ran almost headlong into another exile after paying homage to the spring of Ymir. He was stunned to find that this was none other than one he knew as Shay from their days as adversaries in the rites. Shay was overjoyed to see him, though Almer was unable to bring himself to understand why. Eventually, of course, he did, and they remained together, growing even more accustomed to their new lives in the downside. Not a day went by that Almer Oldheart did not think about his father and give thanks to him and speak to him, at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbert's would be there among them, smiling down at his son, watching over him and his kin. Oh, so it's a good thing that Shay stayed behind, because then she could meet up with Almer. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the sworn-torn waters of the Sea Dominion. He had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen at their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for his outcome meant that at last there was no burden of responsibility weighing him down. Having heard that Sir Gilman also had remained behind, Deluge made a point of avoiding him at all costs. Nonetheless, they ran into each other once, riding a cold current in the Sea of Solace. The meeting was terse and cordial. Deluge ended up apologizing profusely for mistreating his fellow Worm Knight, and that was the end of it. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre Hearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses toward conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. Okay. After her liberation, Witch Udmilda fled to her native home in the southern bogs, rejecting all festivities and honors she could have received. She was never seen again during the events that transpired in and around the Commonwealth. Some of those with knowledge of the rites and the legends of the downside suggest she willingly cast herself back into exile to be closer to Islash. Other rumors suggest that her obsession with pyromancy and the dark arts ultimately consumed her. If she lives, for her kind are able to live for many centuries, there is no telling where. Her repeated threats of the return of Islash were thoroughly investigated and no credence was found of any of her claims. Barker Ashpaws never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling, so, when the rites ended, he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he had always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Ymir Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaws some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who had led such a directionless existence to this point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less serious than the other exiles of his time or more was oft debated by those who watched him work. That's nice. As soon as possible after Tamitha Thane earned back her liberty, she rejoined her sisters of the Highwing remnants in the mountains north of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth believed that someone such as she could be rehabilitated through years spent in exile. Instead, her hatred for her ancient enemies only intensified. On the night of the scribe's return, the Highwing remnants were poised to strike the Commonwealth in a decisive blow. They had received credible intelligence about the expected positions of the Commonwealth leadership and of specific weaknesses in the blood border defenses anticipated that night. After a surgical procedure, Tamitha could fly again, almost as well as prior to her exile. She insisted on spearheading the attack with a squadron of Harp's finest. They descended on the foes exactly as planned. The chaos that had risen in the streets of the Commonwealth that night made for an optimal diversion. Nonetheless, the battle took its toll. Many of Tamitha's sisters fell. She herself sustained many grievous wounds, but ignored them all and fought with a terrible fury. By dawn, the leaders of the Commonwealth had been eliminated, and Tamitha was limping back toward the mountains. She would never fly again. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha attended a debriefing in which she learned her blood sister, Tamitha, was an accessory to the successful outcome. Tamitha was very skeptical of this, but so many of the Highwing remnants honored Tamitha that Tamitha soon accepted the prevailing opinion, though grudgingly at first. A messenger imp later arrived bearing some sort of message, seemingly from Tamitha. However, Tamitha turned it away. She forever resisted the impulse to forgive. After the rise of the Sarian Union, Tamitha Thane continued to serve as flight tactician and remained respected and feared even among her kind. However, without a war to wage, she grew more distant even than usual. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. When Manly Tinderstaff realized the rites had ended, and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through his ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribe, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There were only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Hinderstauf bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroot. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was his time for him and the Tempers to call it quits. But first, he and the Tempers decided to celebrate, and that they did for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long and took on many lovers in his time. However, he sometimes thought about the one he called Curlyhorns and what became of her. Though his glory days as the powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at the time. Let's save Orlek. Bertrude. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood than to return home from the downside. The crone called Bertrude was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There, she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then even monumental events such as the culmination of the rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her efforts was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired now for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but what could have been a hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. She maintained an unlikely kinship with the harp, Pamitha Thane, whom she had known during their time together on the Nightwings. They each had different strategies for dealing with life's day-to-day annoyances, a subject that they both thought vital, if not fascinated to the no end. By and large, Bertrude kept focused on her work, whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans. The work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market would not always provide. Thus did Big Bertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. Never seen her without her hat. After the rites ended, Pamitha Thane parted ways with the other Nightwings, stating that she needed time alone. She reappeared sometime after the fall of the Commonwealth, although she expressed mild surprise at the news. She claimed to have no knowledge of what went on, including what role the Highwing remnants had in the events that reshaped the world on the other side. For her part, Pamitha feigned little interest, making the point that they were stuck, and what happened elsewhere had little to do with them now. Someone with whom she kept in contact was the bog dweller called Big Bertrude. They would discuss all sorts of matters long into the night, and sometimes hunt together too. Pamitha never saw her blood sister again, though did hear of her. By some accounts, Tamitha played no small part in the historic last days of the Commonwealth. In turn, Tamitha must have heard something of her blood sister. However, she never responded to Pamitha's attempts to contact her. Pamitha did not expect forgiveness from her at any point. Nonetheless, she kept on trying to reach out. She said to ruffle up her feathers just a bit. Having long since felt as though she had no home to call her own, Pamitha continued traveling about the downside. As the tempest swept across the land, changing its features, she found in it a sublime beauty, and in the starless night, she still could see just fine. She said such travels tended to remind her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. The Worm Knight Sir Gilman had elected to go into exile as penance for his failure to uphold his military obligations to the Commonwealth. To him, earning back his freedom was tantamount to erasing the shame of his past. His honor was at stake, more so than anything. Yet, when it became clear to him that he would no longer go free again through the rites, he readily accepted the outcome, for he knew by then that much more was on the line. He regretted not having a chance to contribute directly to the events that transpired in the Commonwealth, though he was pleased to hear the outcome. The conclusion of the rites and the fall of the Commonwealth made clear to him that his days as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again, unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly, but never found as skilled and motivating of a partner as his fleet-footed friend Rookie Greentail, whom he remembered fondly. From time to time, he would seek guidance from one of the former comrades, Big Bertrude, much his elder, and a wellspring of perspective on his life decisions. He wasted no time dwelling on his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. The other Worm Knights stayed well clear of him. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fears of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and an occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then the honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. After her liberation, Jadariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and a rise of the Sarian Union. Her military prowess and experience led to key victories and clashes against Commonwealth loyalists. Each time, she was able to subdue the opposition, avoiding lethal force. In the uncertain times that followed, Jadariel's seasoned expertise often came into play both in the matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon began to value their service. They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She often had to stop herself from fearing for Shay, whom she tried to look after as much as possible in the downside. Soon she would reassure herself that Shay was very capable of surviving on her own, and in fact, she was not mistaken. She never settled down with anyone, although from time to time she thought about Ignarius despite herself. So I did break them up. She continued training on her own, a regiment that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and some she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail kept busy barking orders to Wolfred's agents as the situation grew tenser. He took rather well to leadership. When dawn finally came and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everyone knew would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was well off, as he always said. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all of his many friends and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Long after the rites had ended, Shay admitted she knew well before the fact that she would not be going home again. At least, she had a very strong feeling. She ended up not minding very much because she had little to return to in the Commonwealth. Her sense of home had changed. She took to wandering from one celestial landmark to the next, ever paying homage to the 8 scribes, who she believed had influenced all that transpired. She was no stranger to traveling alone, but was always happy to have company. Through it all, she would wonder how her little friend Tizo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he always remained in her heart. Though they could not see each other any longer, Shay often thought about Jadariel and spoke to her as though she were there. Shay tried never to make a decision without first consulting her idea of what Mr. Dariel might say. One day, she encountered one of her former adversaries, one called Almer Oldheart, who had served the Fate. She remembered him much more than he did her, though only at first. Their shared experiences in the rites and their different points of view about the scribes formed the basis of what grew to be a long-lasting relationship. Shay always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Her gentle manner and unwavering conviction often helped them brave life in the downside, both with courage and with grace. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggested that the exiles of the Nightwings who remained in the downside continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that the lone minstrel took his leave. He took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remained skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather, that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still another explanation, where they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object, in which the Sisters of the Ark had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant that they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwing who claim to have seen the apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. After the Shimmer Pool closed for what would be the last time, Orlek looked around him in the flickering light of the Nightwing's still-burning pyre. He then turned to the Fall of Selim and looked up toward the black, starless sky. He cursed the 8 scribes, then one after the other. After that, he strode forward towards the waters coursing from the side of Mount Elodial, and without hesitating, he cast himself down. Orlek's body was never recovered. The drop from Mount Elodial does not appear survivable, though Orlek did survive it once. That time, however, he was filled with fury. Such was the betrayal he had suffered when his fellow exile claimed his rightful freedom. This time, Orlek was filled with nothingness, and chose to leave the downside in the one way he still knew he could. The other Nightwings who were witness to this never forgot what they saw. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth and was vital to the outcome of the plan. He was the one who led the raid on the Stronghold where Archjustice Androbolus IX was holed up when the fighting grew fierce. With him, then and thereafter was one of the winged harps of the Highwing remnants, later identified as Fikani Shang. Oh, nice. Their bond was vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as leader of the Saurian Union, Hedwyn oft confided in his friend Jadariel. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jadariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. And we are. His promise had come to pass, though he had always knew that this was not his own doing. He was always deeply grateful to the other 3, his closest friends. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so, in turn, did they oft think of him. Oh, they each have their own individual one, okay. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodial with Celeste, where the 2 of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tariq nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Saurian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggested these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we knew and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, where the 2 gave up their duties to the rites in favor of a life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. Last but certainly not least, our boy, best boy. The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the scribes, imps are native to the downside, and thus care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred Sandalwood's plan. During the night of the scribe's return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of Downside Imp before, from legends of Haub the Swallow. Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. Volfred Sandalwood would sometimes send him little gifts all the way from the downside. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. He often chirped about the reader of the Nightwings, with whom he built quite a rapport. The reader understood him perhaps better than anyone. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head, although he did take full advantage of his access to the Sarian Union's fishing industry. There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of them. However, some accounts of them begin to paint a picture. We know they were a common birth, always directionless and prone to misremembering at times. The journey to the downside left them close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found them. They brought them from the brink. They showed them the path. They pressed onward with the others. They had made a vow to help their friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. That freedom they indeed achieved at the morning's light. From that point on, accounts of them diverge. It is said the voice which troubled them they never heard again. Some say they sailed the seas far west of here, though whether that is true, only they know. Some day, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived, afraid and alone. When they arrived, the book of rites awakened the Nightwings and ignited the flame. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the Nightwings who, having broken the cycle, shall live on in song. Headwind prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has found his way home. Captain Joe Dariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rookie Greentail has proved his worth and returned to his family by the grace of the scribes. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end.
The moon-touched girl feels the scribes in the heart of the downside. She remained to the end.
Tizo prevailed, first of his lowly kind, to ascend from the downside. He has found a new home.
Sir Gelman the Bold turn to action. He remained till the end. The bog dweller Bertrude kept their foes at bay with her finest enchantments. She remained till the end. The reader at last made the night wings whole and ascended to freedom. They had found their way home. They followed the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Now at the end, as we bid farewell and return to the stars, we shall find our way home. We shall find our way home. We shall find our way home.
Hi. Well, the end. GG's. That was a good game. True Nightwing campaign mode unlocked. What is True Nightwing campaign? Let's see if it tells us. True Nightwing. The players who have finished the campaign, your adversaries shall be favored by the stars themselves. Base difficulty same as heightened. All Titan stars unlocked and some must be used. Enlightenment required to rank up rescaled. Cannot load checkpoints or restart rights. I didn't know that I could do that. Book of Rights and White Loot fully unlocked. Slug Market inventory fully unlocked. Feats of Glory introduced much sooner. Once chosen, this setting cannot be changed. Cool. Well, that was very, very fun. And that is where I am going to call it. We finished off Pyre, which was great. A little bit of a shorter stream. Hope that everyone enjoys the holidays, whether you celebrate or enjoy the rest of your day and week. Unfortunately, I am not going to be around too much for a bit because holiday traveling, and then I am moving early next month. So streams are going to be very, 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 very scattered. I also haven't really decided what I'm going to be playing next. So, there's that. I will update in the Discord, and ideally I will update my title as best I can when new streams can be expected again. But unfortunately, it's going to be kind of up in the air and kind of a bit of a hiatus for the next coming weeks at least. That being said, thank you to any and everyone who stopped by the stream today, whether you were here for just a little bit or whether you're hanging out with us the whole time, whether you were lurking or you chatted with us. I very much appreciate anyone coming to spend any amount of time with me. It is very cool. You can also check out the VODs for Transistor and Pyre now on my YouTube. The link has been traveling through the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Mastiff. Unless you are already on the YouTube channel watching the VOD now, in which case, thank you very much for watching through the entirety of this. It's very cool of you to do that also. I don't think there's anything else, so thank you again very, very much, everyone. Happy holidays, happy new year. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.